Hello, we're in Ohrid, Macedonia, on beautiful Lake Ohrid, which you can see behind us. Beyond that is actually the Albanian border. It runs through the lake. And yeah, what do you think?
It's a beautiful resort town, and it's very small, and it's very picturesque too.
Very picturesque, I agree. Beautiful place. All right, let's explore. In the Middle Ages, Ohrid was a hub of Eastern Orthodox Christianity. There's one church for every day of the week. So yeah, you guessed it, 365 churches in Ohrid. In former Ottoman territory, it's of course usual to see a church right next to a mosque. We really love going inside these Orthodox churches that have all these vibrant, lovely paintings on the inside. They seem to be a bit different from the Catholic traditional churches that we're accustomed to, with more like portraits. These are like paintings all over the walls and all over the altar. The little promenade by the side of Lake Ohrid is a great place to bike or walk, especially on a nice summer day. You can see a lot of families, a lot of street musicians. It's a really cool vibe. You have to definitely take an afternoon and experience it. And then the promenade that you're seeing here is definitely cool for, again, restaurants, shopping, and just kind of hanging out and enjoying the weather. I'm here in front of Samuel's fortress, named after Tsar Samuel, who ran this place sometime around the 11th century, according to the informative plaque at the entrance. And it's a pretty cool castle. You have a great view of the city of Ohrid and the lake. My God, the view is beautiful. It's 120 dinars, a couple of bucks per person to enter. You can spend about, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, but I'd say, 20 minutes minimum. I'm sure there's people who could spend way more. I'd say probably an hour maximum if you're in there without a guide. I don't know how much the guide costs. We didn't get that, but I'm sure it could take, probably up to an hour or so. But at least give yourself 20 minutes. To be honest, if you've seen one castle, you've seen them all. But if you want great views, I'd say definitely it's worth the couple of bucks and the 20-30 minutes of your time. Plus, it's a nice hike on the way up here. You go through Old Town, so.
And you did it right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone and missing someone is as normal. Missing someone.
One thing that Ohrid definitely has from a lot of different points is just lovely scenery overlooking the lake. And it also has a ton of nature, a lot of trails and green spaces where you can walk around and enjoy the views of the lake and kind of be at peace and get out of the city. So you can just walk and enjoy different viewpoints on all these different trails in the forests, on the mountains around the lake. It's really definitely a great way to spend a morning or an afternoon, especially in nice weather. Lake Ohrid is populated by tons of these little sea snakes. Well, I guess they're lake snakes. They are relatively small, and they're definitely more scared of you than you are of them. They're not poisonous at all, but we saw some people get in the water who weren't aware that there were snakes there. If you splash around enough, they'll run away in fear, but it's definitely worth knowing that there's snakes in that lake before you get in there.
¿Se fue? Oh, carajo, la veo. Va hacia ti. Oh, no.
Sí, ahí ya se está oyendo.
Creo que mejor me quedo aquí.
A los vientos, este fue Team Bear. Yo he visto, no. Yo me estoy moviendo para aceptar.
Oh, hay uno al lado tuyo.
The Church of Saints Clement and Panteleimon was a really interesting church. It was pretty big. The inside had some very beautiful frescoes. Like with a lot of churches, you weren't allowed to photograph or videotape the inside of the church, and you had to pay a couple of US dollars to get in. But it's definitely worth it, again, for that Eastern Orthodox art that's all over the walls. It's definitely worth it also to take a boat trip to the other side of Lake Ohrid, right smack on the Albanian border, to a place called the Monastery of Saint Naum. You will take the boat past a lot of really interesting towns and scenery along the mountains as you sail towards Saint Naum. The Bay of Bones is a reconstruction of an ancient Iron Age site that they found on Lake Ohrid. It's a couple of dollars to get in. Our boat only stopped there for like 20 minutes, so we didn't see the point in paying. But a lot of the other tourists said that they really liked it. As you can see, I'm a real fan of peacocks. And there's a lot of peacocks at this Saint Naum church. But this one didn't really like me that much. There's also a lot of small chapels in the surrounding woods near Saint Naum, and a lot of them, at least this one here, had a freshwater stream running under it, so you could really just bend down and drink this fresh water, which was pretty refreshing on this hot day, and it was super clean and delicious. I went to the hospital the next day for dysentery. Just kidding.
Wow, mira esos peces gigantes.
Deliciosos.
Oh no.
The trip to Saint Naum was 15 euros per person, plus whatever you spent at the restaurant, which is a pricey restaurant, of course. But it's definitely worth it for all the scenery and the beautiful experience. All right, this is the part where you like and subscribe.
Suscríbete.